Hey there, I am back with another deck review, and today I'm going to be looking at Emperor playing cards from Penguin Magic. I want to give a shout out to Magic GNS for sending me this deck. Go check him out on Instagram if you get a chance. It's Magic GNS. A really great collector, good friend, and really appreciate him sending me this deck. All right, let's find out what it's all about. Now, this was produced for Penguin Magic and released on Kickstarter earlier this year. It's designed by Mark Stutzman, who's the legendary card designer behind a lot of different decks, including probably most famously the Gatorbacks designs for David Blaine. So a really skilled artist, and you'll see a lot of his classic illustration work throughout this deck. The deck itself, being for Penguin Magic, obviously they went with penguins as the theme. And what better penguin to highlight than the famous and most classic of them all, the Emperor Penguin. And so that was kind of how the deck came to be. The tuck case itself, just a regular glossy finish tuck case without any embossing. It says Emperor across the top, a font almost kind of reminiscent of how bicycle would be written. And then you have the beautiful penguin design in the center. Has this large emblem with a circular emblem featuring penguins marching around the borders all the way through. A little bit of ornate flourishes at the bottom with a snowflake. And then the center is our hero, the penguin magician here. And you can see the penguin with his top hat, and then he's arcing the cards across into the top hat. Very cool little calls of magic in there with the, of course, explosion of penguins all over the place. Really cool design, I like that quite a bit. On the sides, you've got a border of snowflakes across both sides of the tuck case, as well as the top. So that same border of snowflakes going all the way around. Bottom's gonna have your ad copy for Penguin Magic and Expert Playing Card Company who printed the deck. Here's the back of the tuck, which is gonna be the back design of the cards. We'll look more closely at that in a second. And then the seal is gonna be a large spade pip formed out of a pair of penguins jumping out of the water on this shiny gold postage stamp style seal. As you open up the flap, you have a single snowflake on the large flap and then nothing on the other two flaps and nothing printed on the interior of the tuck. So really simple in terms of color, just all black and white, very fitting for penguins. I like the illustrations in the tuck case in large part because I really like the back design. So let's jump into that now. All right, here is the back design of the card, just like we were looking at on the tuck case. Really beautiful illustration. This is where you can see Mark Stutzman's work absolutely the most. He does a lot of just really intricate designs. Features a two-way back design, and the large image in the middle is of course our penguin hero again with his top hat and kind of arcing the cards there. So you can see him almost standing on some stairs here with the mountains and the sky in the background. And then all around him are penguins and snowflakes forming just a really intricate design. Of course you have that border of the marching penguins. There's a close look at the Emperor penguins marching all around him. You've got the snowflakes. You also have more penguins up here, including one that's sliding into the water here. So kind of a row of them sliding into the water. More snowflakes in the corner, and then just little bits of flourish all over the place and kind of scroll work, finishing it out and filling every inch of this. All the little scroll work there on the sides as well. Finishes in a really thin poker border around the edge. It's gonna look really nice in fans and also really good just because Expert Playing Card, unlike USPCC, does a really good job with the registration. So the borders are gonna stay centered on every single card. So that's the back design. Beautiful work by Mark Stutzman. Let's get to the extra cards. You get a pair of jokers as the only two extra cards in this one. And where most of the deck features the Emperor Penguin, this is the only one that's going to feature a different penguin, the Rockhopper Penguin. And they chose the Rockhopper Penguin because they have these really distinctive plumes, almost as eyebrows here. These plumes are bright yellow on the penguin and really kind of stand out and give it a little bit of a jester feel to it. So they thought of all the penguins, that was the one that kind of most fit the jester theme. Has Joker in the corner and just identical black and white images of the penguin. So there are those. And the rest of the deck, only one other custom card in this one. It's going to be the Ace of Spades. Here it is. You have that really distinctive spade pip here with the two penguins jumping out of the water, their beaks meeting to form the tip of the spade. This is really reminiscent to me of the Ace of Spades design on the gator backs, which features an alligator jumping out of the water. Also, of course, as I mentioned, designed by Mark Stutzman, so very reminiscent of that design. Pips and indices in the corner are going to be standard and just says Emperor across the bottom. The rest of the deck is going to be pretty much standard. You got regular spade pips, placement, everything's going to be the same. Court cards are also going to be the same familiar court cards that we looked at. It's slightly recolored. I do like the color scheme a little bit better. It's not as much those kind of primary red, blue, yellow. The yellow's a little bit more of a gold color to it. And then the red, a little bit more crimson, and the blue closer to navy blue. But really just a classic feel to the court cards. Not too much changed on these. And like I said, the rest of the deck, just a standard deck. That's definitely to keep it kind of more functional for Magic, gameplay, etc. Really, this is just meant to be a deck that you can use. So, what about handling of the deck? It's expert playing card company, so it's not going to handle quite like bicycle cards or USBCC decks, which are, to me, some of the best handling decks out there. A little bit stiffer of a feel to them, but not as stiff as some of the other expert playing card decks. So these do fan really, really nicely, and if you're good at fans, which I'm okay, you can really see how that thin border shows up nicely in the fans. So very, very nice, good handling, especially for an expert deck. And you can see that perfect registration on display there as you use that thin border in fans. So what would the deck be used for? I kind of touched on this a little bit. It really is meant to be a deck used for Magic and gameplay, I think, first and foremost. Handling is good enough, definitely, to use it for cardistry, but the classic back design, I mean, the back design almost looks like it's one that's been a classic design for years. It really kind of fits in with like rider backs and others, is just the timeless designs. And then the familiar faces and number cards throughout really just keep this a nice functional deck for Magic or gameplay. And I think that's really where this is going to find its home. For collectors, I think a lot of them are going to like a slightly more custom deck, maybe custom faces or something like that. That said, it being the first deck from the famous Penguin Magic, I think it's a really great effort. Love, as always, Mark Stutzman's illustrations. Really, really nice deck. So that's it. That is the look at the Emperor playing cards from Penguin Magic. You can still go get these out on Penguin Magic's site if you are interested. There's even a marked version of the deck as well. So if you want to get something a little bit different you can use for Magic, that's out there as well. All right, hope you enjoyed this look. Let me know what other decks you want to see. Subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings, and I'll see you for the next one.